Right. Hello. Thanks for coming. So we're going to get things started, and I expect a few folks will roll in afterwards. But we have a tight schedule, and so we'd like to get things going. So first off, we would like to invite Matt Bolish from Film Society Lincoln Center to have a few quick words.
Who's ready to rock and roll? Yeah! A little bit? Okay, thank you very much for coming today to StoryHack Beta. Thank you so much to everybody who we've spent 36-ish hours together. Hands of anyone who slept last night. People who slept last night. Anyone who slept last night. Okay, so you people are awful. So again, thank you on behalf of the Film Society of Lincoln Center and again, our partners in crime in this, Story Code. We couldn't be happier to have everybody here. We couldn't be happier to see the amazing projects presented. We really don't know what we're getting into. Again, thank you and good luck. Have a great time.
Thanks, Matt. So we're going to say a few kind of introductory words first, but I'd first like to introduce StoryCode CEO, Aina Abiadin.
Thank you all for coming. 18 months ago, we were 20 people in a room looking for other people like us to make sense of this chaos. Chaos is the maddening pace at which technology and media appear to be shifting everywhere, in publishing, in film, in television, advertising, music, theater, and yes, even in technology. We're plagued with obsolescence, everything shifting so far and so fast, we're all struggling to keep pace. What's the next big thing? What should we know that we don't? What's the next wave? We see it coming on the horizon, but we can't quite make out what it is. StoryCode was born of a question and a certainty. The certainty is that we love stories and we know they will endure. The question is, how will we make good work that engages the forms and platforms and ultimately the audiences of this moment? To answer, we've created an organization to support this quest, educating each other, facilitating new projects, and incubating them, because new forms need the space to develop and mature. We must have the courage to look forward and boldly claim our place. Make no mistake, we storytellers are a pliable, crafty, adaptable breed. Today, we give you a glimpse into what is possible. Welcome to StoryCode.
So Aina, why don't you introduce the fine panel of judges that we have assembled today?
Okay, so we have, to our joy, scored some awesome judges. And they are sitting in the back row, so if you don't mind just waving. We have Warren Cohen, who's at VH1. We have Craig Singer from Disney. We have Blaine Greyboys, who's an executive producer and game designer. Catherine Oliver, who's the commissioner of the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. And Jed Paulson, the director of marketing at Free People.
Thank you. So to kind of just frame what's about to happen, first we wanted to thank our sponsors. We certainly couldn't have put on this type of event without their support. So I wanted to first of all thank our primary sponsor, Free People. Jed, thank you very much for believing in us and for allowing our teams to really explore storytelling with Free People. We also have some exciting technology sponsors that have excuse me? Okay, sorry. We had some exciting technology sponsors that have really stood behind what this hackathon is all about. Kaltura is an open source video platform, so all the videos that you see will be hosted on the Kaltura video platform. LogicWorks provided hosting space. Social Samba is in the house and hacked with us for 36 hours straight. Thank you guys for coming from Minnesota and DC and California. Thank you, that was awesome. Social Samba is Facebook for fictional characters, and you'll see how that unfolds in the future. Please come on down, there are seats in this kind of third row here. And lastly, Twilio, SMS-based storytelling, was involved in the hacks as well. So those were our sponsors. Thank you very much, and thank you to Lincoln Center for hosting StoryCode, for hosting the Story Hack, and for being so supportive of our efforts. Thank you. While we do the presentations, I encourage you, if you have questions for the team members, to tweet to the following hashtag, StoryHackQA. So the idea is that while the judges go and deliberate and talk about the projects that have been presented, we want to have a live interactive conversation. So if you have any questions about the projects that they worked on, how they did it, how long it took, etc., put a tweet out to that hashtag, and then we'll know that we can raise those questions at the end of the show. Just to kind of give some context here, we about a month ago announced that we were putting on the first ever Story Hack, and we received about an overwhelming response, and we could only accept about 20% of the entries. So that tells us that we're certainly onto something right. And this group that you have here really represents the kind of top of the cream of the crop and some of the best entries there. So first of all, we were really overwhelmed by the response. It was just amazing. So what we did was we presented a common challenge to all 7 teams. And I wanted to just share that with you so you could think about that as you see these projects. The first item was to design a cohesive narrative that spanned 3 platforms. So the idea is that we're really exploring cross-platform storytelling here. So what these teams are going to be presenting is a narrative that is not just based in one platform, it spans platforms. They executed a minimum of one of those platforms over this past weekend. That was pretty crazy. However, they may have executed more than one, and if they did, then that's even crazier. So the idea is that they're going to be presenting a cohesive narrative that spans 3 platforms. They executed at least one, and they're going to be presenting that complete narrative. So they'll present the executed hack, as well as a paper model or design comps or a presentation of how that story would carry over into the other platforms. There was a common theme for the challenge, and that theme was courage, and that certainly is a nod to what Ina spoke about, kicking things off here. So every hack has to do with the theme of courage, and there was also a common prop. Thank you very much to Free People. Every hack has a Miles of Lace dress in it. So where it appears and how it appears and how it's integrated is for all of us to explore. And lastly, on Saturday morning, we gave all the teams a wild card, and that wild card was that the following line needs to include in your hack. Fortune befriends the bold, from Emily Dickinson. So look for that as well. Lastly, the judges will be evaluating these hacks based on the following criteria: creativity and originality, innovation of the idea, quality of the presentation. Each team is going to have 15 minutes to make their presentation. Quality of the presentation. Adherence to the stated rules of the challenge. Integration of the dress. And lastly, use of the sponsor technology. So every team had to use at least one of the technologies, and many teams used more. So that's basically it. So we're really looking forward to seeing what the teams have to present, and we just have one other message we wanted to thank.
So this weekend could not have been possible without the super kind and brilliant mentorship of 4 people. 3, I believe, of whom are, no, 2 are in this room, and the other 2, hopefully they're watching on live stream. Brian Clark, who's in the back. Mark Harris, who's sitting next to him. Steve Colson, who's not here, and Josh Shabtai, neither of whom are here. Over the weekend, they helped these teams refine and, in some cases, critiqued them to make these hacks the best possible hacks that they could make. So this was really critical. This is a new process, and there is no best practices. We're just trying to come up with the best way to hack a story and mix it with technology. So thank you guys again. And just a note to the audience, for those of you guys who have maybe not been part of an immersive experience before, you are sitting in this room now, and you think it's just like a movie theater. Well, it is and it isn't. It will not be a passive experience, let's say. There will be moments when things may happen that will call you to engage. In order to enjoy this experience to the fullest, we encourage you to engage and to just go with the flow. Anything can happen. This is one of those rooms in which please turn on your phone, not off, because anything could happen there too. So with that, I will bring on the first team. The first team is Synergized. That's their name. And their tagline is, quote, "Fortune favors the synergized." Their project name is called We Are the Shunned, and the team members are Juan Carlos Pinheiro Escoriaza, Stacy Mulcahy, Victor Pinheiro, Nathan Atkinson, and they are the folks behind me. Welcome them.
So while we're waiting for this is obviously one of the challenges that happens when you're trying to put on an event like this. We started the hackathon at 11 on Saturday. These teams have been here straight through. Most of us haven't slept, and we're running overly amped on caffeine. Are we ready to go, guys?
We are.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for bearing with us. We are Synergized, and this is We Are the Shunned, a 3-platform event that is really a social experiment, and it's ripped straight from the headlines. So literally, you'll be itching to play this game. It is one of those type of games that literally gets inside you. So what we want you to do is text us right now, 205-291-8975. Text the word play. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Oh, they need the number. Sorry.
You gotta jump it in. 205-291-8975. 205 291 8975.
Okay, so we're going to keep going because time's running out. So I'm imagining a lot of you guys here have lived in New York for more than a year. And if you have, you might be familiar with the following. Awesome. You might remember the following.
They may be small insects, but they're causing big problems. They don't discriminate between rich and poor, and they're happy in your home or even traveling in your luggage.
So most of us remember this wonderful moment in recent New York history. And if you lived around here, as I imagine happened for a lot of our friends, it started, maybe you heard about it at a party or a rumor that one of your friends' friends or a distant family member had bed bugs. And it was like, what does that mean? Well, you know, they had to get their whole house fumigated and nothing worked and they couldn't get rid of them and things got really weird and gross. And that's when you heard about them the first time. A couple weeks passed, and then maybe a couple of months, and then you heard about it again. And this is at least how it happened for us, that then it was a friend, it was somebody you knew, it was a family member, it was a brother, it was somebody that was real close to you, and all of a sudden they had to deal with bed bugs, and their house was infested, and they didn't know what to do. Well, after that, around that time is when it hit the news. And we started hearing about them everywhere. And it began with the AMC movie theater, that all of a sudden there's an AMC movie theater, you can't go there, there's bed bugs, you're going to totally get infested. And then from there, then it was stores, different stores had them, Macy's had them, I know Victoria's Secret had them. All of a sudden people started making lists of all the places in New York that had bed bugs. And then it really hit, the landmarks. All of a sudden Empire State Building has bed bugs. Lincoln Center even had bed bugs. So it was crazy. If you weren't here, it was wild. And then, mysteriously, almost, you know, things started slowing down. We heard less and less about them, and it's been a while since they've kind of made the headlines.
So now we want to pose a question to you. What happens if these bed bugs didn't actually go away? What if they came back? What if they returned, but they were different? They were bigger, they'd evolved, and now they were deadly. So now we're going to move on to our second platform here, which is social media. So our tour guide, or our heroine for this story, is a girl named Emily. And thanks to the wonders of social media, and especially our fine friends at Social Samba, we can really dive deep into our heroine, Emily, and see what she was about. So, like many people, she has a Facebook profile. She has a favorite quote that might sound vaguely familiar. This is live. You can pull it up. You can explore some of her pictures. You can see who her friends are, what she's talking about. Looks like she's got a dog. Sounds like someone we might know. But to make it even more interesting, through Social Samba, we can actually see her story unfold in an animated fashion here. So we learn a little more about Emily. Emily was the smartest girl you'd ever met. She moved to New York City to take a job with the Department of Health. Turns out she has a dress that also might look familiar. This is her favorite dress, even shows up in her profile picture. And then one day, she's working for the Department of Health, and she has to investigate bed bugs. And, you know, it's pretty gross, and a lot of her friends get kind of disgusted. They say, why are you helping these people? You should shun them, Because remember, that's what happened in the last epidemic. If you knew someone who had bed bugs, relative, friend, whatever, you shunned them. But Emily, being the courageous girl that she was, wouldn't do that. She stood up and she said, you know, these people deserve not to be shunned. They need help. And because these bed bugs were deadly this time, a lot of the people who were infected had to go underground. Hospitals didn't want to treat them. People didn't want to give them medicine. It was just go away, get out of our lives. But Emily didn't really think that was fair. So as you can see here, she had to go on the run as well, because as you might know, if you befriend or you take care of someone who's persecuted, it's almost like you've become infected as well. So then it turns out that Emily disappears. What happened? We see someone, Dolores, saying, Emily, we can never thank you enough for everything you did. And someone says, you left us too soon. We'll never forget you. And then there's a mysterious link to this website. What's that all about? So it's called weareshunned.org, and it tells the rest of the story. Turns out Emily died saving the shunned. After you work with 100, 200, 300 people who have bed bugs, it's only a matter of time before you too become infected. And in fact, this was the dress she was wearing on her last day. But a community was inspired by what she did and sort of sprung up around her. And this dress became a symbol of her hope and her courage. And now people carry on that fight every day around us, inspired by her work and this dress.
So that's where the story ends, and that's where you really start jumping into the story yourself, and it starts getting more interactive. So all of a sudden, you join the community of We Are Shunned, and it's about, are you going to help them? You could get infected, but you could also help them survive. So as you continue through the experience and you learn more about the different people who've been affected, and there's also a wall of videos we were working on here with all the different stories from the people who've been affected by this. Then at the end, it invites you to kind of join the community, and then ending on fortune favors the bold. So click to begin your journey. And then you find out the awesome punchline. The new bed bugs live in your phone.
So the shun need your help to survive. And if you don't help them, no one will. So literally they will die. And that's what we need your help for. So what I need you to know is that I want you to arrange yourselves into groups. If you are pink, you are infected. If you are orange, you are a medic. If you are blue, you are the police. Now, you need one of these cards in your group to be saved or to save somebody that you love and need to save, right? So, very literally, you're going to have 45 seconds to get in that group and come down here to this main stage over here. If you have a group. If you don't have a group, find your group. You want to survive. So I want you all to look under your seat right now. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The side with the lines is not your color. The side with the lines is not your color. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. If you do not have a group, start making your way to the other side of the room. 3, 2, 1. All right, time. Everyone can calm down. If you found your group, then you have been saved. If not, you have been infected and you have died. No, you have not died yet. In fact, that's the second part of the game. In round 2, you will be able to save those. The people who are now part of this group can save the ones who are shunned. So I want you guys to all take a seat again. Congratulations. You completed our very interesting, bizarre experiment right here. So this is kind of the first way to just sort yourselves out into a different group. And now you know what side you're on. And the story continues.
So what you just did is you experienced the game we've created in this very small microcosm. But it doesn't end there. The roles that you've all been given, some of you are healthy, some of you are infected. You're going to go out into the world and the story will continue. And some of the things that this game will examine are the ethical and the moral implications of the choice you make. Do you find yourself compelled to help people who are infected and then might infect you? Or do you shun them and go far away? And what does that mean? And as the game evolves, we started in a very small, very confined space here, but like an infection, it spreads throughout the city, growing with each new round. And it's designed to bring people together in physical space, to play the same game, but with more obstacles on a higher level throughout the city in many landmarks that you might recognize. And it's really part game, part social commentary that examines the choices that we're all confronted with every day and the implications of your decisions. And then as you examine the people who are infected and those who weren't, and the numbers change and sway, and then maybe even more people become infected than people who are not, we have to examine, what does it really mean to be shunned? And maybe the shunned aren't actually who you think. We're synergized, and you might want to check your phones, because this isn't a game now, it's real. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Our second project is brought to us by a team called Awkward Hug. They're the guys in the lab coats. Their tagline is, "We make fun." And their project today is called Space Without Us. The members of the team are Ken Amarit, Jim Babb, and Tanner Ringerud. Did I say that right? There we go. All right, we ready to go? All right.
Thank you for joining us here today, Mission Control. We're glad to have you all here with us. Usually Mission Control is a lot smaller. It's usually only one person, but we'll make do today. I might need one of your assistants up here to help facilitate us today. By now you should have received your capsules. You can take those now. The bold and the American take them without water. Don't eat the plastic. Are you ready? I'm ready too. We need one of your assistants. Who is brave? Who is bold? Who is fierce? Who's as brave as our astronaut? You're not? Please, come, join us. Join us. The rest of you will be able to participate as well. Just a note about our experience here. Dr. Ringerud will assist you. Just a note about our experience. This entire thing you're about to watch was done within 36 hours. We've prepared our astronaut very well. Most things were done by hand. All the animations were hand-drawn. You'll You'll be assisting Commander Henry. Please, text this phone number. Text it why you are brave. Before we launch Commander Henry off into the great unknown, we're going to familiarize ourselves with our life, his life. Is anyone still waiting? All right. This is Henry. This is his life. He is bold. He is proud. He is ready to live and die for his country. If you receive a call, take it. But also set your phone to vibrate if it's not. Good luck, Commander Henry. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready? Yes. All right, let's do this. Error. Do you clear error message, log error message, alert shuttle pilot, or run diagnostic test?
Diagnostic test.
Oh no. Do you jettison coolant cells? Clear diagnostic message. Do not alert the shuttle. Purge coolant cells. Alert.
Alert.
All right. This is extremely basic math. This is mission control. You should all know this by now. You have 10 seconds. Correct answer. All right. Now the math problem. We can see that 50 degrees is going to send him off into space, 10 degrees is going to smash him into the planet. You sure 30 is not going to launch him? All right. You have the option to delete the message from his wife or censor it and pass it along to him. Uh-oh, asteroid belt. You want to go full speed ahead into the asteroid belt? You want to direct him to raise the shields, or do you want to raise the shields yourself? All right, here goes. Hold on, Henry. No, flashback. Oh no! We have the options to divert 0 power to the shields. It doesn't seem like Disable navigation, divert 60% of the power to shields, or disable all non-essential systems. Uh-oh. We're over the inertia maximum. We can not activate the inertia field or activate the inertia field. All right. He's all right. He seems okay. Uh-oh. Leaving the radiation field. Well, now we're out of fuel. Fuel reserves empty. Course locked. You should all be getting calls. Congratulations, you all killed Henry.
All right, we're moving on to project number 3. The team is called Beach Monster. As you can see so far, these projects take on many forms, and the different creative people in it approach it in different ways. Transmedia is always an unexpected thing, so prepare to be surprised again. Team members of Beach Monster are Joshua Pantzer, Dennis Sharabaran, Stephen Pevner. And the logline for their group is a third-party account on a trio of fortune seekers survivalist tour in After Hours, New York. The project name is actually called At 4 a.m.
So for public speaking, I always like to start with a round of applause and hoots and hollers just to make me not nervous. Thank you, thank you. Everyone can hear me. Thank you again to StoryCode. This is awesome. Okay, so we're not up yet? Okay. Okay, so everyone has been in the middle of a story right now, and we are just finishing the last sentence at the moment. So this is at storycode.org. What's the Emily Dickinson line? Sorry? What's the Emily Dickinson line?
Fortune befriends the bold.
Oh, is it? I can't see this at all. conscious. Story code or fortune. Sorry, I thought it would be a mirrored image. I thought it would have another hand for some reason. Sorry?
Let's mirror. Go up to your detect
Oh, yeah?
displays.
All right, cool. Turn on mirroring. There you go. All right, so storycode.org. And we live to tell the tale. Fortune befriends the bold. What's it called? Hashtag at StoryHack. All right. So this is the last in a series of our tweets, and we've just ended our story, like I said. And we started at 4 a.m., which is the name of our project, and we've continued every hour or so until now. So I would like to play a video of our premise, which is at 4 a.m., which is also our website, at 4.am. And this was, we wanted to turn the project on its head a little bit and be that one group that just goes so far outside the box that you are the box. And so what we're doing here is we put all of our belongings, our cell phones, our keys, and our wallets, this actually happened, this is not fiction, on the table, and we left and created the story.
While researching story ideas a few days ago, we went to the 24-hour Apple store to understand the kind of resources available
Nice
for
dress.
overnight in New York City.
What is wrong with me?
As we worked on our story from the StoryHack headquarters, it became clear to us that we only had one opportunity to make this really incredible, to make ourselves the story.
I think it does, because if we don't have any, we can't get on the subway without jumping the turnstile. Rules. You are not allowed to sleep in your own bed. You must meet somebody. On Double Dare, they did say, and if you really have a hard time, just ask your parents to come help you. I advocate taking your ID. Yeah, because that isn't going to get you a place to sleep. And it's not going to get you food.
We lost our programmer, and we realized that a good story, a good transmedia story, doesn't take the typical platforms. Courage is doing something you're afraid of. We're afraid of going outside. No keys, no wallet, no cell phones. New York City. All night.
She didn't want to brush her hair. That was a stress ball. He's stressed out. And here are our tweets that we left for story code. Okay, so I would like to know from the people who were involved in the story hack, who noticed that we were missing? Maybe a show of hands? Okay, so we'd like to have some audience involvement. Maybe this is a little more than I expected, but I would like to start with having Brian and Mark come down, if you guys don't mind. So what this is going to be is we are not here to tell a tale. We are having the opposite tale told based on the information we've given. And I'd like to maybe 2 more volunteers to come down if anybody had any ideas of where we might be or what was going on, or like should we call somebody, or dangers or something like that, because we actually did leave our wallets and keys. Does anybody else have any opinions? Because I know these guys did. Okay, so we'll leave it with these guys. That's fine. Okay, so
Hi, we're the box.
yeah, they're the box. Okay, so these are our mentors. They did a great job. We really loved talking to them. I know everybody did. So would you guys tell us what was going through your heads?
Mark, you should start because you did a little twit pic last night.
Always does this to me.
He had said he was
Yeah.
going to follow my lead. Of course, the first thing I do is toss it to him.
Yeah, it's for you. So, so the first, we noticed that they were gone, and they weren't at this point. They weren't gone long enough they could have just been out, getting food or something, or brainstorming. So I just took a joking picture of the table and jokingly said, did we have one team bail out from the stress or whatever? And I think I took this maybe 10 minutes after they left or something. It was very, very soon after. So that was sort of the start of it, and I tweeted it out over StoryHack.
I don't think it was really until this morning that suddenly we were like, wow, they didn't come back. And we started asking, like, what does that mean? Did they give up? Did they walk away? Are they not coming back at all? But these are really their wallets. There's money and credit cards and home keys. And we're like, they got to come back. They'll be back eventually. So then we thought, Mark and I went, okay, maybe we'll make a little transmedia story for them. We'll take their wallets and their keys and phones and give them to other people. So we gave their keys to the men because the men seemed less trustworthy than the women, and there was money in the wallets. And we gave the wallets to women, and then we gave the cell phones to Canadians. Of course, there were one Canadian.
So one Canadian got all of the cell phones.
And so we thought, okay, we're being kind of clever now. We'll leave them a little note, and when they come back, we'll have taught them, like, you don't disappear that long and leave your wallets
I'd just like
and
to note,
keys
too,
around.
that originally Brian wrote the note and only put my name on it. I had to go back. I had to go back later and add his. So
I just think Mark deserves credit for some things. And then I guess we finally heard again from you guys, like...
Well, there were Mike was sending texts to their phones, and then we had their phones on the table, so we picked up the phone, and there's all of Mike's texts. Like, where are you guys? What's going on,
And so we kind of thought, okay, if they aren't back by noon, that means they're probably not really coming back, and we've lost one team, which would be perfectly fine. And then you guys, no, what'd you say? Sometimes things happen. And then you guys did come back, or we heard that you were on your way back, and I think Mike Knowlton decided to undo our ARG, and he got up and said, women with wallets, give them to me. Men with keys, give them to me. And then when they arrived back, they told us that we'd essentially been the audience for their work.
Right. So they came back, and well, I want to say that there was a point where Brian asked, if they don't come back by the time the presentation happens, we need to figure out what the responsible thing is to do with all their stuff. Do we give it back to their next of kin or what? So yeah, but then they eventually did come back and told us sort of like what the deal was. And do you want to take it?
Well, I mean, now we need to give you a mic, because really what I'm interested in is, did it work the way you intended? And if it didn't, how did you adjust it to get the reactions from us?
Well, we are in the story too, so I had no idea that you were going to play a joke on us, but I did know that we're in a room with a bunch of smart people and something's going to happen, someone's going to notice something, and so I definitely think that we left it up to chance, and we left it up to you guys being who you are, and you did a great job. Thank you very much.
He takes all the credit for it.
No. But I think that letting the story build from all of these different perspectives is the really important thing. And if you have just one side of, like cops say, interview all of these people because everyone's going to have a different story of an event. So that's what makes it really interesting. And there's not a lot say, but we left it how we wanted it, and it worked out really well.
Any other comments?
Yeah. Anything
Anybody
else?
have any comments about that? Other teams?
Yeah.
Go for it.
We did. We were just using we were using Twitter, and we tried something on Facebook, but I just don't really like Facebook, so I didn't go with that one. And then we did. We made this website, which has cool domain name. And yep, that's us. We didn't have a programmer, so we had to think outside of really going at the technology and just looking at it, focusing on the story point of view. It's the first shot right here. Right there.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, so one question is, if you were going to do this, so basically, okay, 2 minutes? Okay, so very quickly, it seems like this basically engaged two people, me and Brian. And that's we had fun, but we were engaged primarily to try to one-up your punking.
Mm-hmm.
If you were gonna do this again, what do you think you would change or try to iterate on or try to improve on the next? What would you take to the next step if you were doing this again?
I had done some research trying to find people's phone numbers and stuff. I guess I was very antisocial with the rest of the StoryHack crew, and so I guess I wanted more contact information so that we could send like some cryptic messages, but we didn't get a chance to do that because of the lack of contact information, and also because, of course, we didn't have any cell phones, which kind of made it difficult.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So next time you would just plan those things out a little more, and then figure out how to get that information probably. And
I probably would have also liked a mole somewhere, because if somebody was like spreading rumors,
yeah,
that would have been fun. But yeah, you can have it. I don't care.
Repositioning.
Sorry? A lot. I mean, we have a more extensive version of the video, but we showed you what we wanted to show you. Yeah, and very long night, let me tell you. Cool.
Great.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the point. Project number 4 is from a team called US Maple. US Maple as in US and Canada. Their log line is kicking ass so you don't have to. And the members of the team are Carrie Cutforth-Young, Randy Assel, James Carter, and Shafat Salim.
On the one end, I'm really happy because I'm so exhausted I can't be nervous. On the other hand, I haven't used the washroom for probably 6 hours and I really have to pee. So hopefully we'll make it through this. I want to thank StoryCode, first of all, for putting this on. Aren't they amazing? And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Team US Maple. Just to get started, we're going in a different direction than the previous projects. Our project is a social benefiting storytelling experience. It's called Reclaim Anna, and it's about a mother following her daughter into a descent into the underbelly of a city, in which people are going to interact with real-world stories meshed with fictional. We start with first a social soundbite. Each platform builds on the next, but they're completely integrated together. Social soundbite we start off with to set the narrative and establish the relationships.
So what we did was we created social samba in our own skin. Shafat did, and Carrie did some programming. It introduced Anna with her mother, and they're going back and forth on Facebook a little bit. She's cute behind that hand, and then Anna's like, "Why are you embarrassing me, Mom?" And so the story plays out a little bit, and then Anna says to her friends, we're going to go shop tonight, and they're all in, and they're going to go meet at Free People. They like Free People on Facebook because they love free people. And then when they're out shopping, they find this awesome dress, and Anna buys it. And then afterwards, they meet this dude who's a little bit mysterious, a little bit interesting, and one of them says it's cute, but then they discover that he's a modeling agent, and they're trying to get Anna involved with that. And what ends up happening is Anna doesn't come home, and of course Julie starts getting concerned about her and posting messages on Facebook, and Julie says, any friends of Anna Huffman, let me know where she is. I haven't seen her in 3 days. And then this PI at Sullivan Investigations says, text me at this number. And then what that does is it takes you back into our experience, which is the next part of it. So I'll let Shafat explain that.
So we decided to create a mobile app using HTML5 since it would be accessible both through iPhone and Android. So basically, it's like a shell to figure out to help you out throughout the story. It has like basic tools to look at like the videos and like the information you need to like get through the story. I also decided to, instead of using a SQL database, I used Mongo to implement it because it would allow like millions and millions of users to use it at the same time. So this application is actually very scalable and allows like a lot of users to interact with the story while it's going on.
So the content we see up there, we have 37 videos live on Crunchyroll right now. This one is from a feed from a mysterious figure called MC, and he's feeding back on this mobile app breadcrumbs of Anna's journey. And those breadcrumbs will help us to follow her to the live event. And that gives people, players or participants, an imprint of what's going to happen next. So where it leads them to is this place called the Funhouse. Now the Funhouse is a reclaimed carnival prop making warehouse that is now being used by an underbelly of society. So there's drug trafficking going on, human trafficking. Because we're doing a serious story, though, we wanted to make it metaphorical rather than get too literal with the rendering. And right here, when you come to the location, it's geolocated with Twilio. And that's a really impressive hack that Shafat did. It wasn't easy, and we almost got it down to the wire where we didn't think it was going to work. But here it is. It says, fortune favors the bold when you pass a certain location. You use that code to then use that as the password, fortune befriends the bold, in order to enter the mouth of the funhouse.
So what happens is then you enter the fun house, and the fun house is not so fun, as you soon discover. There are actors along the way telling their stories, telling these characters' stories, and the first one is this heroin addict who got brought there by her boyfriend. The next one is a woman from Estonia who came over here, and her uncle took advantage of her and then brought her to this human trafficking place. And then the third one was just a really rich young virgin who was kidnapped and brought into this world. So you get to experience them all along the way, and they're all pleading with the group. And basically what's happened at this point is you're taking on the role of the mother, and there's only 5 people per group that gets to go through the fun house at the same time, and you're all making the decisions together. And then at a certain point, you come into a large room, and Carrie will tell you a little bit more about that.
So we've been getting this feed from this mysterious person called MC, and the live event culminates in this party, if you think something like Eyes Wide Shut, in which there is the boss man of the underworld is there, and then the masters of ceremony comes up, and he is trying to create a distraction, and so this is how he starts.
Welcome to the party, friends and strangers. For those of you attending for the first time, a stranger is just a friend that you haven't met yet. Some of our friends are strange, and some of our strangers are quite friendly. If you spend some time with them, we've assembled some of the finest felines for your viewing and tasting pleasures. Tonight, we bring you to the softest and sweetest putty tats this side of NYC, and let me present you with the newest addition to our pride. Gentlemen, feast your eyes on Anastasia.
And this is where we're presented with Anna, who's now been disguised. And the boss man leaves the room, and the MC takes this opportunity to provide the players the final way to get out of the funhouse.
My dear, welcome. I see you got my messages. I am the MC. You must go down while the boss man is preoccupied. But your precious Anna must walk behind you so as not to arouse suspicion. As you exit, you may monitor Anna on your phone. Whatever you do, don't look back. If even you glance at your daughter, you will lose her forever. Go now.
So what happens at this point, as you've entered the funhouse and you've proceeded through the live event thus far, in addition to the live actors, videos are also appearing on your phone. After the MC gives this signal, we have a longer video which plays on your phone as though it's a mirror image of Anna that you can hold in front of you as you proceed through the labyrinth, the maze that is placed in your way. As you navigate through that space, you're also beguiled and called to by the other actresses who you already met on your way in, who are trying to get you to turn around or to assist them, as well as your daughter Anna. If the groups of viewers do that on their way, then a bouncer taps them out and the experience is over for them. They're allowed to go. Those who have the courage to go the entire distance without being distracted by any of those make it all the way out and succeed in the task. The video that we have is we try to go for a ghostly kind of ethereal image of the dress, which would symbolize her innocence as she's being reclaimed from this underworld and brought back to the light.
So what happens if you get to the end is that some police officers see you and they sit down and they start questioning you. And what we've done is we've decided to use this as a social transmedia story for good. And they give you the information. New York, NYC.gov has a lot of really great information and resources for human trafficking and how to stop that, and also with domestic abuse and a lot of immigration issues. These 4 websites are really awesome. You can go and check them out. And then also there is, these are the places, these are the places that our Twilio mobile geotagged hacked. So it's Twilio and Kaltura working together, and they're geotagged to a location. You can go to this spot, get the mobile app, and take a look at it and play around with it. Like we said, there's over 37 videos that you can view on that space, as along with like biographical information and things that the private investigator is using. And then the mobile social Samba site you can use and log into Facebook. And that was another thing that happened with that, was that we branded that. So everything in the colors and the is all on the skins that we use for the geotagged mobile device and for the mobile social Samba site. So.
And just one ending component is that when you, after these police question you, it's actually recorded, and that video of the police questioning how you went through this experience becomes part of user-generated content that is shared online.
Thank you very much.
Questions? You can actually check out the app right now if you go online, and we have some videos already.
Yeah, the videos that are on there, a lot of them are very short things that would be appearing as you're walking through the experience live. So you can scroll through those and you can watch them here. And we have some also that were being fed by the MC, by the mole in the organization, and the first part of the experience before the live event begins. So all of those are on the site, and we're going to try to get that up. You can experiment with the apps as well if you'd like to look at the Twilio or the geolocation. It's not up there though. So the large player is an image of Anna while she's just entering this experience.
All right, our next team is called Cupcakes and Rainbows. They do not have a tagline. They're that confident. And their project is called Future Mate. And the members of their team are Alan Hahn, Gita Arbor, Brian Fountain, and David Gockfeld. It's not a hackathon unless you have tech problems. Okay, sorry guys, but we're gonna put you on. Next team is Team Rodan. Their log line is, how's everybody failing tonight? No, seriously, I said, how's everybody failing tonight? Their project is called Your Personal Failure Engine. And the members of the team are Michael Brose, Jennifer Levine, Andrew Leach, Chao Huang. And hopefully this computer works.
I didn't even sleep last night. Okay, I'm in marketing and I'm a designer. And yesterday my boss comes over and he goes, show me what you got. There's this project, this website. You do it. Design it. I come home, I work all night. I got the logo down, I designed the pattern, I have the colors. I go in this morning, no sleep. He doesn't even look at it. I mean, he doesn't even look at it. What am I doing there? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not there to do photocopies. Hey, you know what happened? He fired me before I could quit. No, for real. I can't even believe it. I mean, seriously, are you freaking kidding me? I didn't even get the chance to say I was gonna quit. No, you know why? Because he saw my blog. So he called me in after lunch and he goes, it was really inappropriate, and this is now a one for our company, and we're letting you go. I did it. I really did it. Wow. Part of me thinks I've gone insane. I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do now. I could try my hand at graphic designing for a web company, but I would hate to be stuck working for a guy like that again. He was insufferable. I guess I'll have to update my resume. I just can't believe I don't work there anymore. I've updated my resume, I've updated LinkedIn. I applied to a bunch of marketing jobs.
Social Samba.
What if be courageous? I need help. Yeah.
Be courageous.
Be courageous, guys. Well, we were trying to fail really hard for you guys. That was sort of the theme we were going for. Oh, wait, is that it? Just switch over? I don't see a signal anymore.
So I'm going to try this one more time, and then you might just want to show the
Yeah, we can.
show the screen.
Sure.
So I'm just going to try it one more time. See if it.
Oh, sure. Close but no cigar. Okay, we're to blue.
Might be,
No signal. Wait for
might
it.
be the mirror display.
Cross your fingers, everyone. We're trying to fail. We planned all of this.
So now we just try and show the screen.
Yeah, I think
All right,
It's
sure.
the same computer that we had the problem with before.
Yeah. Let's turn off the mirror and see if that helps.
So, hey, maybe try.
Sure.
Go show screen again at the very top.
Go to show screen again at the top.
I lost it again.
Oh, there it is.
Aha.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. So I'm going to try to do this. My depth perception isn't fantastic, but I'm going to try to do this. So what we have here, if I can get a handle on the mouse. Do you guys see it? Where are you? All the way up, all the way up, all the way down, down, down. To the right, to the right. To the right, to the right, to the right. I don't even see it. Literally don't even see it. Do you see it? It's not as easy as it looks, believe it or not.
Oh,
Oh, there we are. There we are.
there it is.
Just go up. Oh, yep, yep, yep.
I want to go to full screen.
Full screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome.
That's going to help.
All right, so the first thing that we wanted to introduce you guys to is Be Courageous. That's our platform for failing big and failing hard. You can't really do well in your life until you start failing. And one of the things that you saw in the video was Daphne's story. And Daphne started out by going to the website. And the first thing you want to do is make sure you log out of your profile that you're already logged into. Click my profile and log out for me. Right, cool. More failure. That's what we're going for, guys. And the first thing you would want to do when you sign up for the website is you're going to sign up for the website. Click signing up. You'd fill in this, rudimentary sign up form. And after you've put in all your information and you click sign up, you'll actually head to the login screen. At the login screen, you'll of course log in. Simple, normal everyday thing. And we can actually see if we can log me in really quick. Nobody look at my password, all right, guys?
But please admire the fail medal at the bottom of the screen. Thank you to Social Samba for the and for Kirk. Gorgeous design.
So as you can see, this is my profile screen. I'm a big fan of failing big, and just regular, simple sort of login, very rudimentary. But I don't need to actually go click share my story because I've already shared my story. So if we go up to the story leaderboard, or as we like to call it, the failometer, you can see that we have our leaderboard here of all the different stories that people have been sharing with us today. I don't know if you saw me out front when you first came in. I asked you to fill out some of those little sign-in sheets to sort of tell us what your most
graciously offered to be a mentor. And so I'm going to see if I can get in touch with you. I'm just going to contact him using Twilio. So, our relationship has begun. We'd like to keep it anonymous, though, so please keep it among yourselves. Okay, so that's the end of our hack, and now?
So now I'm going to introduce somebody. We just want to really quick, as you notice, we use the Kaltura video platform to sort of show off our awesome video vignette from Daphne. And we'd also, of course, like to thank Social Samba for helping us show the awesome power of Social Samba in retelling sort of what went on while she was coming home and talking on Facebook with her friends about her epic failure. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome a special guest. Some of you may recognize her from the video you just saw. Please welcome Daphne, everybody. So Daphne, we saw you going into another meeting. That's super exciting. Tell us what happened.
Well, I have to say that meeting wasn't a total failure. And actually something really nice happened because the potential investor liked my sketch. And even if he thought I was too inexperienced to run my own brand, he actually connected me to a really successful designer, and now we're collaborating. Yeah. Thank you.
Really quick, we're going to open it up to the floor so that you can sort of ask Daphne about her experience with Be Courageous and her, of course, her epic failure of vlogging about her boss. Does anybody have any questions in the audience? Anyone? Wow. I never, ever thought it was going to be that quiet. Ooh, Brian Clark. I'm going to run up to Brian Clark. Brian Clark, question for Daphne.
So do you think you'll mentor someone else who's also failing?
When you fail, you have to fail royally in order to be successful. So there you go.
Another question for Daphne in the audience. Oh, time's up. Well, thanks so much, guys. And remember, fail better. Fail better. All right? We hope we fail. That's all we got to say.
All right, thanks, guys, and thanks for your patience. We are moving on forward and to retry the project we started before, from Cupcakes and Rainbows. And with any luck, if the gods of technology are with us, we will be successful in this round. Yay! All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Matt and Pam.
Hello, everyone.
Wow,
look at this crowd. This is so exciting. Oh my
Amazing,
gosh,
such
we are
great
so
energy.
excited to have you here for our meet and mate today.
Wow. I'm sure this is a lot of you, your first meet and mate session, because if you already had one, you would already be completely happy in every aspect of your life. So
It's true.
let's get started, shall we?
Well, let's just remember a warm thank you to our friends at Future Mate.
Yes, Future Mate. This seminar brought to you by Future Mate. All of you bringing you a step closer to happiness.
And we do have a very special guest here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Cammie Roberts is here. Let's give her a big warm welcome. Cammie Roberts, the last great movie star. We all remember her. It's such an honor, such an honor. I'm such a fan.
Now, just to give you guys some expectations of what you might expect here tonight, if any of our previous seminars are an indication, there's a pretty good chance that at least 5 of you lucky ladies will be pregnant tonight. So keep your fingers crossed, ladies. Keep them crossed.
And remember, everyone has been pre-screened. You're all fertile, and none of you are carrying the Nightwalker virus mutation. So just keep that in mind. This is a safe place.
So I'm sure a lot of you are a little scared about this, like, how do I do it? Don't worry, we're going to take you step by step through the entire process. It's quick and easy. Let's get you in a relationship.
And, you know, I know this is a personal note. It's been very difficult. I know we've all lost people that have been close to us, and it's sometimes hard to move on. And so we're really just asking you today to be brave, to take that step, because we need you. We need you to help move forward with society. I mean, it's all up to you guys, so please think about that.
So on to futuremate.us.
Woohoo! So there's our website.
Beautiful portal here.
It's true. We had a lot of help from a good friend of ours, Kurt.
And we call this theme Banana Passion. We love it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to just pop in on a session that you might have if you went to the website.
And you can just click here to find your perfect mate. So you can click there and look what's happening.
Yep, here we go.
We're just going to eavesdrop. Oh, look, it's Denise. She says, hey, I'm Denise. What's your name?
My name's Alan.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, hey, Alan, this is really exciting that we can connect. What's your favorite book?
Oh, I don't know. How about 50 Shades of Grey, like the best book ever?
You're kidding. Denise has read the same book. She's read it several times. She feels really connected to Alan. She thinks she loves him.
Oh, wow. Me too. We got a real love connection going on here.
Let's see what happens, guys. You'd make a great partner, says Denise. Will you marry me? Are you free Tuesday?
He says no.
But a little
upside down smiley.
Oh.
You know what? I bet Wednesday was better for him. He's probably just going to shift it later in the week. Those guys are going to make it work.
It's true.
Now, before we move on, go ahead and get your phones out. We're going to do a little phone activity.
Don't do anything just yet.
Because we have pioneered some new technology.
It's true.
Using the power of
So hold
your
on those
voice.
hold on those texts just for a second.
The power of your voice is going to put you into a relationship.
It's true. We have done studies, and we have found that if you speak to your mate before you actually end up with them, you are immensely, a billion times more likely to have that last.
The simple act of speaking to someone before trying to get into a long-term relationship increases the chances of it being sustainable.
It's really true. So we have used this technology to connect people. It's amazing. It's really revolutionary.
So what you're about to embark on is what we like to call a meet and mate speed date, all right? So if you have your phone out, go ahead and text this number your first name.
First names only, please. And once you've done that, you're going to get a call back. Please answer it and follow the instructions.
That number's 347-252-MATE. That's 347-252-6283.
Please do that now. Is everyone
Just text it your first name. Guys, this may be your only chance at happiness. We all know there's not a lot of us out there left. I appreciate everyone coming down to Compound 64 to have this seminar in the first place. All right, so while you guys are on the phone, we are going to take some of your vitals. And as we're getting those vitals, we'll be calling you back for follow-up information. And as you fill in that information,
we are going to see up here on our screen. We've got some finder windows. What are we finding? All right, here we go.
Oh, we've got Victoria and Andrew and
All right,
Josephine and Nick. Interesting.
Just
Anyone else?
popping in there. And let's see, who else? Do we have anybody else popping in there? Let's see, you guys. Now, this is what we consider the magic of the speed date. Moments ago, you are interacting with somebody who is a complete stranger. Now, the magical algorithm of our system is pairing you together, possibly for the rest of your life. And it all started with a text message.
Oh, look, there we go.
Whoa.
That's exciting. Look at all these folks mating.
Jennifer,
ready to mate.
It's
Heather
Broseph.
and Eugene.
Broseph is in
Peter
the
and Doc.
Whoa, Peter 33, Doc 93.
Ooh.
That might be tough to make it work, but I believe in you
It's
guys.
true. Oh, we have a little problem with Bronwyn and Kay. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Guys, we've talked about this. In this current climate, same-gender relationships are not what we consider GSC or government-sanctioned coitus. So it's really vital. It's really vital that for the next generation, you take one for the team. The opposite team. You take one for the opposite team.
So we have a little extra bonus. We can listen in on some of these calls.
All right. Well, there might be some
let's
magic
go back to that.
going on
and,
right now.
Oh, look, here we go.
Well, we're going to wait for a little bit of signal. I think down here in this subterranean chamber, it is a little tough to get a signal through some of the cabling.
Go to the next slide.
So we're always patient.
Okay, so let's listen in. Are you guys ready to listen in
Somebody
on the love
is
connection?
on the phone right now, making a love connection. Hello, future newlyweds. Here we are. System is going to go in and randomly pick somebody out of our system here. We'll listen in on what will surely be a very entertaining and possibly...
Talk about the Valley of the Beast. The pregnant valley. They all look alike. Funny, I got put into the GUI. Should be able to make the filter from that.
Okay, so those seem like some non-government sanctioned words
do we have
there.
our security staff, please?
Great. So, guys,
Security?
it's also important that we practice our safety speech, all right? We all know
security.
the laws.
Do we have security?
Yeah, so we could just have them check
looks
their
like right there,
phones.
and,
We could just find those.
Right there.
Yep.
That looks to be the problem. So,
Yep. Right. Guys.
Oh.
Guys.
Oh.
Okay, guys.
Just stay calm, guys.
All right, so we do. All right, this is a small one, so we might be okay. I think everyone should just stay where they are. Pam and I are also going to go to the back and check. You guys be strong. Fortune befriends the bold and the brave. So you all just stay right here. I'm sure the helicopter will make the 1-hour flight back very quickly. We just going to open it. Yeah, we are going. You guys should just
stay put and enjoy that future meeting. Now's a good time, guys.
Yeah, just dial
Now's
back
a good
in.
time.
You know what, guys? Let's just cherish these moments. We don't know how many more we can expect to have with each other. If anybody has Nightwalker repellent, this would probably be
good time.
Thank you all so much.
you.
We look
Future
so
mates.
forward back to
Future
seeing
mates.
you again.
All right, we said unexpected. I bet you didn't see that one coming. All right, we have one final piece to present. It is the seventh, but not the least, Vile Ink. Vile Ink's tagline, if it gives you a clue, is "No Souls Here." And the name of their project is Dr. Knightley's Society for Experimental Courting Services. So it looks like love is in the air, one way or another. The members of the team are Nick Brachia, Tom Nguyen, Zachary Weiner, Michael Anderson, Rob Schapp. You guys ready? We'll get through this, I promise. There we go.
So we're going to follow that last act with what is essentially a PowerPoint presentation. But it's a fucking great one. Rob and Tom were indisposed or exhausted and are not here, so you only see Mike, Zach, and myself, Nick. Ready? Up. No peeking. Half a second. Can you go full screen? Nice. Okay, so we're Vile Inc., and this is our idea. Next slide, Zach. So, love stinks, as Jay Giles would have us believe. But worse than stinking is sucking. And we think that online dating sucks. And from Mike Anderson's online dating baseball card here, you'll see kind of how we all feel about the online dating process. You end up sort of picking through really mundane statistics. Sometimes it gets really creepy, and the whole process becomes a bit of a chore. So we all got to thinking that what does actually tie people together is sharing new experiences. For example, couples meet and sometimes even get married after story hacks. Just saying. Or she's not a plant. I've never met her before in my life. Troll warlock. Or having the same terrible boss, things that allow people to commiserate or experience something. Or probably the best metaphor for our practices here, the notion of kind of riding a roller coaster, having some sort of experience where you haven't really met someone, you haven't looked in their eye yet, you don't really know if there's chemistry or compatibility, but by virtue of having this sort of great experience full of unexpected stuff, that at the end of it, you can kind of share this knowing glance, shit, we just went through something, and that was kind of cool. And that's a better place to start than a bunch of stats and like, oh my God, we both like Friends, and oh, revenge, and yay, Dave Matthews Band, woo, let's bang. Like, it's no fun. So what we've done to deal with this is we've conceptualized, previous slide, thank you, what we're calling a cross, this is patent pending, mind you, okay, cool, because we're Vile Inc. We've conceptualized a cross-platform dating adventure system. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe, maybe, and most importantly, it's fun. And it's called Dr. Knightley's Society for Experimental Courting Services, which forms the pleasant acronym SEX. We couldn't find an X word. But if you say it fast enough, or after you're eating something, it sounds like sex, so that's cool. And our tagline for that is get to know someone under terrible circumstances. And I'm going to pass the mic to Zach for a minute to tell you a little bit about how sex works.
Thanks, Nick. So what we envision here is an interface where, you come to the site and you give it your information so that, of course, you can interact with the experience. Very simple onboarding experience, first name, last name, phone number, so on and so forth, username and password. And then what you see here up top, we would have a video that plays and tells you a bit, entices you into the experience. And then we have 4 different genres that you can pick from. We thought the best name for this group of clustering of options was lorem ipsum for the time being. So you have 4 different genres you can play: murder, mystery, thriller, rom-com, or sci-fi, and of course, patent pending. We could extend this to any other number of genres. So what we need to imagine here for a moment is that you have logged in and you have invited someone of interest whom you would like to court to also play along with you. So what we're going to do is we'd like to take you on a test drive through the sex, I want to call it sex machine, but I guess it's not. The sex engine, thank you. So in this case, we're going to follow the murder mystery scene, which is called Fortune Befriends the Bold. But we like the word favor a bit more, so we put that in. The Roman version. We have a Roman in the house, so help us out with that. So at any rate, in this plot line, we've got French socialite Guy Riche had squirreled away a fortune. Now he's dead and his fortune is missing. His wife suspects foul play. Who was bold enough to do it? Could it be the newly widowed Mary Riche? Or questionably competent accountant Johann Goomba? Driver, confidant, and fixer Tommy Galoshes? Personal assistant Sunny Day? Her dog walker Milo Otis? The dog himself, Mustard Seed Magic, head detective Pansy Scran, or junior detective Ernest Merriweather. So what we have here, basically, what you're about to see is a cooperative team play from remote locations. So you've got 2 different people sitting in different places. They're recording each other, but it's still happening online. However, these 2 people, like detectives following up on separate leads, are going to have unique gaming experiences that weave together at certain points in time. So one example of that might be that you see the same video, you're briefed on the scenario together, but then you experience different tangential parts of the narrative simultaneously. And these 2 people then have to communicate back and forth with one another. Whoa. in order to solve, in this case, what is a mystery. And of course, under time restraints. But we figure it's better to show than to tell, so let's see how this game plays in action.
So, as the most painfully single guy in the group, I have been co-opted to show you the kind of thing that I'd be going through if I was playing. And to set the stage a little bit, chapter 1, we've already taken care of Johann Goomba. We know he's not the guy who did it because he's off in a conference. Specifically, he was learning about how to get into the very lucrative money business, specifically the laundry industry. And since he was out of there, he couldn't have been the one who was the murderer. Through figuring that out, though, I mean, we're a detective agency. We got to grease the palms, so we got a dirty cop on the take. And this is what's leading into our investigation of our next guy, Tommy Galoshes. For Tommy Galoshes, we've actually got 1 player following through 1 path and taking a look at the crime scene photos that we bribed to get a hold of. Don't have much time to take a look at them because, I mean, we're not supposed to be seeing them. And here we see, well, we're checking out this apartment the guy's got, and it's a guy's apartment. There's a woman's dress in there. And also you got that really cute cat because, hey, how could you have a story without a really cute cat? While 1 player is doing that, the other player is taking a look at a video. Specifically, yet another bit of bribery on our part. Got the same detective and said, hey, listen, we want to see this interrogation you got going on with Tommy Galoshes. Now, you got 2 players doing absolutely different things at the same time. They don't know what's going on. How are they going to bring this together? Well, one of the ways that I socialize with people all the time, you got this wonderful IRC channel in there where you're having a one-on-one chat with this person that you invited to the experience, exchanging information. Hey, I saw this really cute cat over there. I think it's important. I love cats. Hey, there's a dress. This is a guy's place. Maybe it's significant. And this is where we're gonna take you the actual demo of, hey, Hoover's okay. He wasn't the worst of guys to head up the CIA. I could go with that. But now we're actually gonna take you and show you the website where we're building out this experience. And I'm gonna pull up my phone because I'm in the driver's seat right now. So we've got this main home page where we're going to go down, and I'm interested in murder mystery.
So right now, I am going to click on Murder Mystery. I'm not clicking on this part. But we start up and we get to that actual video.
We know he reached had an apartment his wife didn't know about way uptown.
That's right. What do you do there? You guys hang out and watch Singing in the Rain?
Hey, I don't like Gene Kelly or The Ring.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I wear my galoshes. So, why having this? I don't know. We like having somewhere to go think. Also, we got cats. His wife at home, she's allergic, and he likes to play with cats.
So no game?
I know. I'm at home watching Singing in the Rain.
Screw this. I need a smoke.
So our cop just walked out. He texts me. And I send him a message saying, okay, I want to ask about that dame.
We checked the apartment and we found a dress that's too small for Mary Reach.
Or Guy Reach.
And we're told it smells like perfume. Perfume that comes from France.
France, Tommy, France. Listen, all I can say is au revoir. And that means I'll call goodbye, France. Also, this is a very nice dress.
Now we're going to see that other plot that we get.
Carl.
All right, Galoshes. So how close were you with Reach, exactly?
Let's just say this about me and Guy Reach. He never once called me on my birthday, and he deletes shows that are mine from the DVR. Up to and including Modern Family and Ancient Aliens, which is a good show that I never get to watch it now. So you tell me if we're close.
So you now just saw a video. And yeah, that looked like one whole video. So what? I'm going to take you behind the scenes a little bit and talk to you about what you actually saw. Because through that, I was messing around with my phone left and right. On my screen while that was going on, once we get that slide up on our PowerPoint, you see I'm texting, and I already made that connection with the dirty cop. So he's writing me back and forth and tells me, listen, tapped into the video feed. Here it is. You want me to go after one route? Press 1. I pressed 1 on that phone. You saw that video. Generally, that would be it. You can't press 2. But I really wanted you to see that little talk about Ancient Aliens. So we worked it in so you could see video 2, commence that grilling 2. What makes this really cool is this control that I'm doing. You saw it on a PC over there, but let's say I'm at a date and we're at a restaurant. All of a sudden we buy into this experience. We're going back and forth with it. Just like if you've ever seen that game Subservient Chicken where you type in one answer, I could control my date's phone and what video she's seeing by just pressing in words, numbers, anything. The possibilities are limitless. So limitless that you get to find out about Nick's dirty secret, which I love. The tech that's going into this is dealing with using Kaltura's ability to really stitch those videos together in a seamless fashion. And by pulling in Twilio, I was using it through text message, but we also programmed it in. So if you wanted to use Twitter, you're like me, you don't have a very good text plan, you can do that. And stitching that side of things together was IFTTT. So this is just a really powerful way of dealing with the fact that we don't, well, I'm the one who doesn't have souls right here. Specifically, I don't have a soulmate. And this makes just a great transition of being able to turn around and get to know somebody without actually having that first date experience where you're saying, I like music too. You're pulling it through and having something that you can talk about on that actual first date. Or if you're feeling frisky and you're a couple, you can have a little spice in your life. And in terms of just, oh, yeah. So we got a little bit more. Nobody's talked about money yet. I kind of like talking about money. I like getting paid. Part of this is you've got it as the pay-to-play platform, but part of it is also there's really a strength in having mementos and things that you can take home from experiences. And if this is your first date, you want something to remember it by. If you really work together and you're proud of the fact that you recognize, hey, there's a dress in there, maybe we should ask about it. Get that after your first date, and all of a sudden you've got something you can take home. Work with a restaurant, and all of a sudden, with your check comes the next clue. the possibilities of bringing this in and actually having an experience are pretty much endless. And that is when I drop the mic because we're done.
All right, you guys are a great audience.
I was going to say thanks, Brian.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's all right, Anna. I accept your
You
apology.
have 10 more seconds. Make it work.
No, that's it.
You've been a fantastic audience. Thank you so much. Let me remind you guys, most hackathons, people are required to play with one piece of technology over 24 hours. These guys got a lot of technology, and they had to tell a story. So I just want to say, 7 teams, 36 hours, first time ever story hack. Give them a hand. Folks, this is just the beginning. We are literally in the baby stages of this process. Every time we bring you another one of these, your minds will continue to be blown. So with that, I say thank you to the teams, and I ask the judging panel to please follow me into the secret chamber, where we shall decide who gets the grand cash prize, and one other prize being given by Twilio for best use of Twilio.
And please feel free to stay. We're going to do a Q&A with some of the team members from the folks that tweeted
Mark Harris.
questions. Okay. Thank you for your attention. What'd you say? Can you guys stay for the award ceremony, please? Yeah. All right. It's going to be quick. It's going to be quick. We have some questions for the teams that spent the past 36 hours working on these great projects. First question. Hey guys, can I ask you to please, thank you. First question is to Social Samba. How long would it take, how long did it take for each, is there a second mic? We'll send this down to Social Samba. Jen will. Thanks. So this is to the Social Samba team. How long in general did it take for each team to work on their hack?
It took every second of the weekend. I mean, so, we were here at 10 a.m. yesterday, and we didn't stop until right when the bell rang at 3:30 this afternoon. So it's straight through the night. So, we weren't sleeping.
And did every team use Social Samba technology, or for the
No, 4 teams.
So there were four Social Samba hacks.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many more sleepless 36-hour weekends are in your future?
Yeah, actually, I want to hear from the teams.
Yeah, sure.
I'm curious to hear if they were going to complete their hacks. How much time's left to complete the vision of their hack?
If the mobile app could be like, I think in a couple of weeks, definitely once we've recovered from sleep. But if we were going to do a live event like that, I mean, we'd want to partner with organizations such as those that stop human trafficking to really get feedback and hit the right notes. And that would take a lot more planning, so it definitely would not be anytime soon. But the mobile app, 2 weeks easy.
And I just wanted to say, on Saturday morning when Social Samba came up to our table to talk to us, they said, we're not here just to be sponsors. We're here to hack too. And that's what they did. I mean, it was one of the most exciting and impressive things and integrations of what we were doing. And I know anyone, yeah. So thank you very much.
Our absolute pleasure.
And without her help, I could have never gone through the geolocation.
Thanks, Cheryl. Okay, so Josephine Cashman has another question. Is Josephine here? No. So I will just toss this out to the general participants. What was the most popular drink the teams used to stay awake? please pass the mic around.
I'm sure that a lot of people drink coffee. I mean, like, let's be honest, most of the people are probably coffee drinkers, but we drink a lot of tea in our team. We brought some tea from home. We drank a lot of the tea that was generously donated by Film Society Lincoln Center. Thanks for that. Winter Spice, try it on your way out. And also Red Bull. It gives you wings.
Lots of Red Bull, right?
Like the flying monster Rodan. Go Rodan!
Mike, what was your drink of choice?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, it must have been through the sponsors, but you guys brought pallets of Red Bull, and I did not see that much left. I would say my bloodstream right now, 60% Red Bull.
Nice.
Yeah. And by the way, that's the amount you're supposed to have water, so this is going to get ugly real fast.
Okay, so this next question is for one of the Story Code mentors, so I guess that would be Brian, since he's still here. So Brian, did StoryHack mentors find any common tech or integration challenges among the teams? Were there any general kind of common challenges that you found the teams experiencing in both those initial conversations you had with them and even now in the presentations, other than the projector and my inability to plug it in?
Well, I mean, I think a big part of it is that they're designing for this kind of experience. And I think one of the interesting things was that you saw 3 different solutions. You saw people who came in and made an experience. You saw people who came in and talked about, demoed an experience. And you had one team that came in and did a post-mort on an experience. So I think even that, like, how are we going to engage the audience? What is this experience going to be like in the room? Before they even got to the tech, that was the big question I think they were all sort of grappling with in different ways. And then when you got to the tech, it's all about time, right? Like, this was an exhausting process for them. They stayed up all night. They were hacking with tools that maybe they weren't familiar with. And there was some amazing stuff up here, right? Cell phones and calls and dates. So I don't think there was any one uniform challenge except for time and what do you do with an audience in a room like this.
Excellent. Any teams have any thoughts or anything to add on that point? All right, the next question is a question for Team US Maple. They're over there. So the question is, if using real serious stories, why the need for metaphorical designed settings? What was the benefit?
I'm really glad to hear that question and the opportunity to answer it. And I believe it was Lena that sent it, and I have the highest respect for her. One of the things, yeah, one of the things is, first of all, if we're having people enter, a human trafficking ring, we don't want them to leave the experience thinking it's a really good idea for me to go and do that on my own. So the whole idea is we start off with reality, and we slowly become more surreal, and then we bring them back to reality, and that's when we bring them back to those organizations. Those organizations that can, you can help handle, you can help them to handle that aspect. So will you, at the end of that experience, form the political will to have the courage to back those organizations? That's the message we wanted people to have, not to be like, oh, I'm gonna, bust a human trafficking ring. Another thing is to go into more of a surreal element of it and a metaphorical element. We don't always know who our audience is and why they're there, and we didn't want it to develop into a sense of like some kind of skeevy exploitation of the actresses or those who are in it. So we wanted to avoid that. And another thing is I have a real feeling, and I think everybody agrees, we really believe in the power of fiction as being a cipher for us to have that accessibility and experience. Like, it allows us to access some deeper places we might be reluctant to go to. And the whole idea is when they go through the experience, then they have the conversations afterwards. And the conversations are recorded, and they are able to interpret the experience that they had in the funhouse, and then that becomes the shared story. So that becomes like the reality.
So I would like to ask a general question for all the teams, and I'd really appreciate some kind of straight feedback. How could we do this differently? What worked and what didn't in terms of the actual story hackathon itself?
Well, we couldn't totally not have made this happen without the Social Samba people. You guys saved our asses so much.
So I think we learned in doing this that having additional tech resources
Yeah.
available for teams was helpful.
Yes.
Social Samba pulled more than its own weight.
Yes.
But then we also had Mark Harris, who was
Also,
basically the
also somebody that we used quite a bit. So
Right.
we used all of the
Yeah.
resources as much, but we could not possibly have done it like nearly half as much as we got done without them. So
Anything else? Jen, were there any other questions or comments?
Sort of to echo what Gita said, it was definitely a challenge to be thrown together with teams that you necessarily weren't matched up before. You sort of got matched up through the system, and that was sort of the challenge, and that was the part that was exciting. But I think it would be good if the roles were definitely identified in the future of each of the members of the team. Not to put anybody down or anything like that. It was just thank goodness Social Samba was here to help us with our design and our style sheets and things. So thanks, guys.
So I have a question I would like to ask the team from Synergized. Did you guys find the requirements for the technology, the sponsor technologies, forcing you to use an approach to tell a story that maybe didn't feel like it fit the story? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, did you feel forced into using a situation that maybe wasn't exactly what you wanted to use?
I think anytime you hear that there's bonus points for using certain technologies, then you want to use those technologies with the knowledge that it's going to help you. Whether or not you want to or not, I think that you inevitably go like, well, there's all kinds of creative ways to involve everything. So, I mean, at once, at least personally, I don't know for everyone, we're trying to figure out how to bring it all together. So I think in our case, we just looked at it and said, okay, well, we have these other technologies. How can we use them to create a richer palette? And so we tried to, in the best way we knew how, which was essentially like they're the doors or windows into getting into the platform itself. So if you were to play the game is the game, and there's all these venues by which, socially you could access it.
Right. Ah, cool. So I have a question for, so now I'm kind of vamping. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. I have a question for Awkward Hug. How in the world did you draw all that stuff by hand? Microphone, please.
We just did. Next time, have 4 people on your team. My hands are like falling off. We used pencils and markers.
Was that a conscious decision to use, to present something in both a visual way that felt kind of so analog, and also to use such a kick-ass technology like an animated GIF? I mean, was...
Yeah, I mean, we're all internet kids, so we spend all day on Tumblr, and animated GIFs are kind of cool again. So we wanted to do that, and we were gonna do kind of the cinemagram. We were gonna do the cinemagram thing, but then we decided we'd up the difficulty level and try to hand animate the whole thing. So
awesome. Says a question back there. Oh, did you take a pill? Good for you. So we have a question in the audience.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what your workflow was. Did you come up with the story first, and then what platforms, or sort of how did you sort through that?
So the question was about workflow. I think we could probably all talk about that. So, platforms, what came first, and what were you thinking when you came up with your hack?
Hi, that was loud. So we were, as they said, given all of this information a week ago on Saturday, and told that we could amass any sort of video or things like that. Specifically, video was what we were encouraged to do. So most of us, I think, on Fridays started shooting all of our video, and that became first. But over Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and into Wednesday, Thursday, we had Skype calls. We had meetings. We talked about sort of like the brainstorming of what we wanted to be doing, where the story might be coming from. And, we started talking about the platforms first, and then we realized, of course, that it's about the story. So I think once we had our story, said, okay, this is the beginning, middle, and end of it, then we were able to funnel different parts of the story into the technology. And then Carrie was really awesome and came in over the weekend. There's actually pictures up online of our workflow, and just sort of showing how it worked on a board, a big board, and we moved things over as we executed them. So it was really good to have that type of thing available to us throughout the weekend. I'm sure other people have different experiences.
Yeah, we our experience was vastly different. The composition of our team was 3 writers, a dev, and 1 day of a designer. And we didn't talk at all last week. And we went in, and also most of us come from a more traditional agency type background. I would love to define myself as scrappy. I'm really not. I can write and talk. And so we treated most of yesterday like it was a coffee house. And we talked, and we shared ideas, and brainstormed, and we laughed at one another's jokes. And then the dev and designer looked at us around 6 p.m. and were like, when are you guys going to get your shit together? And we were like, oh, but don't we just get our shit together? And then it magically happens. And then they told us, well, at the agency, yes, but not here at Hackathon. So what we learned was how important workflow is, and really, if we were going to do this again, which I'd love to do after I chronicle the experience on Be Courageous, is to, thank you, is really plan everything out very cleanly, have workflow, have stuff ready to hand off to people, make sure that our skill sets are varied and that we do whatever prep we need to do ahead of time, because it really matters. It can make or break the experience.
And for us, our idea when we first started out had absolutely nothing to do almost with what you just saw. Saturday, we sort of had like a initial meeting and just had a conversation, and then that came to Tuesday after the Story Code meetup. We had another conversation, sort of tried to develop that idea, but then we realized it just wasn't going to work. It was a bit of a downer, and we didn't want to kind of like put the audience to sleep. So we kind of moved on past that, and come Tuesday, late into the Tuesday night, we sort of came up with this idea for a platform, but how could we tell a story around the platform? And we came up with sort of this vignette story of a girl who at the time was called Naomi. So, I mean, everything changes as you go through this. A way to utilize the dress and utilize the platforms and use video and use Twilio. And, we really wanted to highlight more of, our business plan and all this other stuff. And we had all these great ideas. And while all of that was really awesome and really ambitious, it came time, maybe 6, 7, 8 p.m. last night to start cutting the fat and getting down to the very, very basic product. And we kept thinking to ourselves, if we simplify, then things will be, even simpler. And around that time, we actually spoke to all 3 or 4 of the mentors at once, kind of pulled them outside and shared our idea. And they sort of gave us the nudge that we needed to go in the right direction to sort of become this, anti-LinkedIn, this sort of celebrating the failures in life that you have. And that was sort of the really awesome push that we needed to get to the right product, I think.
So what about the dress? I'm just curious about what about that dress? Free People was one of the primary sponsors for this event, and I was, hoping I would have loved to have seen the dress in a little bit more on some of the hacks. I just thought we presented it as simply a prop, but we knew that they were an important part here. So I just was curious the thought process, just like how you guys came to deciding how you would involve the dress in your hack. Because one of the challenges, of course, was this wasn't a branded entertainment piece. This wasn't a marketing hack. We said, here's a dress. It needs to be in your hack. So I'm curious, how that was from an experience perspective.
I remember when you guys talked about the dress and when you were first on the orientation at the table, and all 3 of these guys are like, we have no idea what we're going to do with this dress. And I'm like, I can figure out something with the dress. But I think right away, it wasn't so much a challenge as trying to hit the right notes, because we had a really deep theme, and they have their own branding, and so we're trying to honor both without it just becoming a prop in the background. So we wanted to include the dress, but make sure it didn't, affect their brand in a negative way.
Right, sure. I mean, that's obviously one of the biggest challenges we face when you're involving a brand in anything you do, Brian?
I found that we had conversations about, the particular dress is, this question of, well, is it a showpiece or is it tangential? And if it's a showpiece, then it almost steers the direction of your narrative a little. Right. If it's going to be coming up on screen, well, then we're probably going to be telling a story about a girl in a
dress on some level. So I felt like that was the only way it really affected the development process, which was either you feel like you're kind of going down that chute, or you're counter programming against it, sort of avoiding that particular way. So that's the only way I really thought about it in that context, which is that particular prop sort of almost, if you wanted to highlight it and feature it, felt like, well, is it going to be on a character? And if it's going to be on a character, is this going to be about that character? So that was the only way it sort of really affected me personally.
Interesting.
For my part, I'll say that the dress was there, and the idea for how we were going to use it was there, but it wasn't until Gita sent us a picture of the color of the dress that we knew who that character was and the more precise role she played.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
We went to the store with our actress, and she's like, "I look like the T-Mobile girl," and we were like, "Yes, you do."
Well, gosh, I can see how that really
that informed so much
yeah.
of what we ended up doing. So
that's really interesting.
And her choices as well. And consequently, that helps us when you're trying to write quickly for something that you might be on the fence about how to set the tone on it or direct it. Just having bold choices like those colors make you say, "Oh, great, this seems to fit here. We don't want to fight against this choice. Let's see how we can enhance it and reinforce it."
So are there any other questions in the audience? I had a question for, yes, Brian. I would do it again in about 6 months. So my question is for the teams that, if you could, believe it or not, we have a fair amount of live streamers watching this that are pretty excited to learn about your personal experience through this. And a lot of teams engaged the audience, whether it was synergized, putting the cards under the pads, or a number of folks kind of having people dial in to interface with the Twilio aspect of your story. What were some of the challenges in getting an audience to engage like that? We tried to set it up in a way, as you heard Ina, mention to the audience that this was going to be immersive, so don't sit back. But what were some of the challenges that you faced getting your audience to be engaged like that? Anyone? Cheryl. So, right. So one of the biggest challenges was we would put the phone number up for 5 seconds and move on because we're under time constraints, and 2 people would get the phone number, and that would cause a pause in the presentation. Wow, that was a really good recommendation. We'll remember that. Yeah, sure.
the thing though is, like, at least for our hack, if you you needed to be like, we needed everyone to kind of start at the same time. So like if someone started at the beginning of our hack, then or our presentation, it would like have been all wonky. So we didn't want to reveal the number too early.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of thing to just I don't know what the answer is, to be totally honest. It's kind of tricky.
Interesting. Any other questions for the group? Michael.
I've got a question for Team US Maple. How in the world did you get articles up during the hack?
I did not sleep. Well, you guys didn't sleep for other reasons, and I didn't sleep for that.
And I'm going to pimp that out right there.
Sorry, this is Randy Astle, who has been blogging, live blogging all week about what we've been doing.
Filmmaker Magazine, you need to check out that coverage because, dear Lord, I can't believe that you got through that.
Well, so, one of the most interesting aspects personally about Randy's article series was something he said in the first article, where he talked. Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you because it's really kind of key to what we're trying to do here at StoryCode. You said something basically about the fact that you'd been involved in cross-platform storytelling, and you had written some Bibles and strategized for it and written for it, but you'd never actually built something, and that this type of an event was an opportunity for you to actually do that. That is like exactly why StoryCode is here. So this was a beta. Thank you for your patience and for the teams that were participating. It's a learning experience. I hope you guys learned from it. We certainly did. It was really amazing for us. There was a whole wide range of teams. Some teams came together and applied as a team. So they had worked together before. So I was looking over at Synergized, and they didn't speak for 6 hours. They were like working, cranking away. They knew their process, and they were just doing their things. And then other teams, like US Maple, they were talking almost all the time. And then when they would hit a small milestone, they would high five. And then Carrie would get up and move the note, from the to do to the to done. So, just from like a watching perspective, it was very interesting. We consciously decided to include both individuals that had applied individually, but then also teams. And it was just interesting to see the different dynamics, work out. And I think there were, hopefully things that were learned in both situations. There was some Twitter trash talk, yes. Yes.
So if you do this again, will you be drawing all new people from the 80% who are not able to participate now?
I really don't know.
How often are we going to do these?
So it's been it took us 10 months to put this on. 10 months ago, Aina and I sat down at a tiki bar with you guess who? Tiki bar. Mike Manello, Brian Clark, Lance Weiler, Mark Harris, and the idea of a story hack was bandied about, and perhaps foolishly, Aina and I decided to volunteer to put it on. So it took us literally 9 months to get the courage up to do this, and the logistics and the planning, and actually forming a not-for-profit organization so we could actually put it on. So what would I do differently? Is that the question, Randy, for the story hack, or
I think the question is there a level 2 that we can go on to?
I mean,
now?
for sure. Look, our larger vision is to try and turn this type of an approach and this type of an event into something akin to what Tech Disrupt is doing, where it's not just the folks that are in this community that know what we're doing, but that there are potential investors here. And that's part of why on the judging committee, we wanted to bring in people that evaluate talent in the entertainment space, because these are the types of people that are eventually going to be buying these types of stories. So, eventually that's our larger vision for these types of story hacks, right?
I just wanted to say Social Samba got a lot of love early, and you guys get a lot of love, but the other place that needs to get like loads and loads and loads of love is Film Society at Lincoln Center. Yeah. And Matt Bolish specifically, who has been here all weekend, not sleeping. This man is a beast. So I just wanted to give that shout out, seriously.
All right, so it looks like we have a decision. First up, Mark Harris.
Hi. I know that Mike was on his last joke, so we got here just in time. Dude, I had 10. All right, so the first thing, I've been tasked with awarding the Twilio Prize for the best use of Twilio and this is specifically for how that technology was used. And since I was there helping people implement parts of Twilio, I know more about the complexities they were running into and how it actually was integrating into their platform. So they asked me to give out the award. And the award goes to Team Rodan. Congratulations. Come on and stand up. Or what do they do? Stand up, take a bow. They win. I'm sorry. I think they win 4 Kindle tablets. Yes. So congratulations, guys. Excellent use and great job. And now, without further ado, I turn it over to Aina for the other winners.
Okay, I'd like to introduce Craig Singer from Disney.
Hello.
He will present the grand cash prize. I see. All right. Well, this was actually hard, and because there's so much good stuff in the room, but the winning hack is cupcakes and rainbows. And if you can't see the check, if you can't see the check, it is for $1,000. Come on down, guys. We're gonna get a little picture with our check over here. Come on over. We just want to get I can grab that for you. We're just going to have the judges in a photo, and all right, guys, it's the cheese moment. All right, thank you. All right, judges, can you just stay for one last photo so we can make sure we can tell everyone you were actually here? Just one last photo, guys. Jen, you got it? Sorry, Jed from Free People had to leave, but he had his say, and I'm sure he'll be happy. So thank you very much to our judges for doing this. Thanks, guys. All right. So thank you all for coming, for participating, for sitting through this experience, for sharing with us this awesome moment in time. And we hope to see you at the next StoryHack.
Two upcoming events on Tuesday, May 8th. We have a tech immersion in the Fun Flex space. And our next forum will be in this room on May 22nd. Sleep No More will be presenting work that they've been doing with the MIT Media Center. They will be sharing real live data about what they're doing next.